أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Brothers and sisters, this is our second weekly live stream for my English channel Clandestine Narrative. Name of the live stream is Intuitive Discussions. Just let me mute this WhatsApp thingy. It's making a lot of noises. Mm, Actually, I don't know how it works. So let's leave it like that. And maybe just try, maybe. I don't know. Hmm. Anyway, so today we are going to, by we, I mean that I will have a surprise, not so surprise, but I will have a guest with me. His name is Hafiz Asad, and he is from Straight Path Podcast YouTube channel and Instagram account. You may know him by now because I have done an Urdu podcast with him already under community building and mannerism and everything like that. Uh, yeah, so he will be joining us shortly from United States of America, and this live stream is live on my YouTube and on my Rumble account. If there is any issue, oh, it's not live on Rumble for some reason. I don't know. Okay, we can check. We can check. Hmm. For some reason, I can't really see it. It says I am live on Rumble as well. I don't know. We'll see later. Okay, so there are a lot of things we are going to discuss on this live stream today. Yes, it is live on Rumble as well. Yep. You might hear double up voice for a second or so. But yeah, if you want to ask question by you, I mean the audience. If you want to ask any question relating to the topic today, you can jump onto YouTube, and there we will share the StreamYard link, and you can join us later in the stream on the stage, and we can discuss anything about the topic with you guys. The if we jump into the title of the stream, which is Dawah to non-Muslims, can Islam still convince the modern mind? Yes, of course it can. That's why we are trying to do Dawah, and we are here to present a positive case of Islam. Okay, so there are some prerequisites and basic requirements to do Dawah, right? As is the case with everything that exists in this world. Uh, in terms of procedure, processes, uh, laws, you can say, disciplines, and anything that has a certain sort of structure. I don't want to be very pedantic into and go into too much details of everything, but today we are talking about Dawa. Dawa is the invitation to accept the truthfulness of Islam. And who is it extended to? It is primarily extended to non-Muslims, and then there are certain type of ills, vices, which develop in Muslim communities and Muslim nations after a certain time, and to remedy them, to cure them, we have to do dawa as well. So it is a double-faceted process. Now, when we talk about dawa, right now it has been confined. The meaning of dawa has been confined in the online debates, polemics, um, live streams, street dawa. I mean, the Hyde Park speakers corner type of dawa, and we can see that there are some things, very few things, but there is some things which are going wrong, and they're literally harming the cause of Islam and the cause of Dawah in certain respects. We will talk about them with Hafiz Asad when he joins. So until then, I will just urge you guys to join us on the live stream and watch this live stream, share your opinion, share the live stream uh, to the people that are involved in Dawah, to the people who want Dawah, to those who want some kind of information about Islam. We will try to help in those regards. Okay, so when we think and when we discuss certain aspects that are troublesome and problematic in the modern Dawa scene, we see that there is the first thing that disturbs me is like a lot of bad manners. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was the epitome of the good manners, and he certainly brought the etiquettes and manners which he taught to his people, his family, his companions, and the people around him. May the peace of God be upon all of them, and may the blessings of God be upon all of them. So, the main purpose of his teaching akhlaq to people around him was not that it should not be extended to people who need dawah, right? I mean, it was evident when the polytheists of Makkah they they harmed him in various ways. They tried to tease him, annoy him, and physically harm him. Uh, he, he remained steadfast and he remained patient in the face of adversity. All right, guys, we have our brother, our very close friend, Hafiz Asad Patel, with us, and he is coming freshly from gym. Assalamu alaikum. How
Walaikum
are
salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, I just ran back from the gym. I left late today.
you? Yeah, you're feeling. I mean, the urge to say something that is very powerful and that is very strong after coming from gym.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
like the muscular. It doesn't have anything to do with urges, right?
no, I want to say that everybody should listen to Oasis Urdu and English podcast.
All right.
He's
Uh,
a yeah,
I
he's a
think in
mashallah
the
very sincere guy.
Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. I was thinking like you were going to score some cheap points against my English, but yeah.
No, I
No,
we're we're
I'm
we're
just kidding.
we're we're all multilingual people. That means our brains work in different ways and different
Yeah,
fashions, and therefore the complexities of how we speak different languages
yeah,
change.
yeah. No, it's just like the way you said. I would um, ask everyone to watch Oasis Urdu, and you emphasize Urdu, and like this is an English stream. I was like wondering, like next thing is that is coming is me me at the rough end of the sword for a person who is coming from gym.
No, I mean, look, your Urdu podcast is very well developed. You've been doing it for a long time. This is the English one is a newer project, so obviously the Urdu project has a lot more depth to it. Inshallah, this one over time the depth will be there, but obviously it's newer, so you know it's not at the same level as the Urdu podcast is. The Urdu podcast is very like advanced in comparison to like even I'll say
Yeah.
my own English podcast.
I'm pro in Urdu, eh? That's what you mean. I'm pro.
You can say what you want. I'm not saying that.
Okay, guys. So this was one of the things that are certainly to be avoided in Dawah scenario, that feeding your ego, which is what I'm doing at the moment, like pumping up myself, but saying like I'm a pro at doing Urdu podcasts and Urdu Dawah. But
We
yeah,
need to
that's
we need
that's
to
it.
ta- we need to take you to speaker's corner and have you like do like speaking on a corner and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Why if I beat someone out there? I don't have too much patience.
Yeah, that's the problem. We're not actors, you and me. That's what we were talking about yesterday. It's like we can't do
Yeah.
it. We're not actors.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I was just trying to go into the thick of it.
All right.
What is the main melody or problem you see that the Dawa people or the Dawa, I don't want to use this word, but it feels like sometimes an industry to me, yeah? Like there's certain elements that feel like it is becoming an industry,
It
yeah?
is an industry.
So, yeah. So he's more blunt, guys. He's more blunt. Um, so brace the impact. It's gonna come anyway. Uh, so this is literally our opinion. Anyone can disagree with that, and if somebody is hurt in the process, like if we hurt someone's feeling, some brothers who's sincerely trying to do something, and he thinks like what we're saying is against him, we already apologize for that. But
You did. I didn't.
yeah, but look, I'm not trying to be political, but it's just like the basic, what you
Decorum.
say. Yeah, yeah. So because we some things we are gonna say that may be offensive to people,
Yeah.
and we already apologize for that, but we have to call a spade a spade.
Yes.
What's happening in the Dawa industry is we see a lot of wrong things, and we have been keeping this inside ourselves. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
inside our chest for long,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's time to vent the whole thing out. Okay, so what was the main problem or main melody you see that is wrong with the Dawa industry?
Okay, so look, there's no problem with doing dawah. There's no problem with recording your dawah. There's no problem with raising money for your dawah, right? There's no money with a lot of these things, right? But they have to be within certain parameters. There's an uncle here who runs a Dawa organization. They've been running it for a very long time. They have vans, and on the side of the vans, they have artwork, and it's called the Quran Mobile. And they give out free Qurans. They fundraise for that. They put up Islam stands. Like they buy these stands. They found them on Amazon actually or something, and they were actually called wine stands where people put wine, but they turned it into a Quran stand, right? And they put Islamic materials, and he's been doing this for almost, I think I'd like to say almost 15 years or at least 10, right? Beautiful effort. A lot of people, they pick it. I even have one in our own business, and people come and pick up free Qurans, and they come like every week. White people, black people, Hispanic people, they come to just pick up Qurans. They're like, oh, my friend wants to read it.
Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Asad
can
bhai,
hear
can
you.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you?
your pictures froze for a few
Okay.
seconds. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
go on, go on.
So they have what's it called, the Quran stands, and they put out the Qurans. They raise money. They have a few, 2, 3 paid employees. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, your voice is cutting a bit, but yeah, I can generally hear you.
Okay.
Something happening. Maybe it's
Okay.
my internet.
Okay.
I have been using a crappy internet for the last 2 months. For some
Okay.
reason, I Yeah, but I think it should be fine because I
Okay,
do streams and they're
okay,
usually fine.
okay. Maybe the Dawa Bros are coming after us, so
Yeah,
they're cutting
maybe
into
the
this.
live streams, maybe the live streams can't handle my English.
So there's nothing wrong with a lot of these things, right? Now
Yeah,
now the problems become when everything becomes theatrical and too focused on the dramatic elements, right? Whether it's the dawah and if it's being done to, sort of show off in front of the camera, that becomes a problem, right? um, when the appeals become very dramatic, you start bringing in big famous people or influencers onto your platform to encourage people to donate towards your platform, and it becomes the identity of your platform that you're just trying to bring on influencers to, raise more money. A lot of times these dawa people, they end up just leaving jobs and they're like, oh, I have to do this full time if I want to give it my full attention. And so then they start, right now we've seen a lot of these dawa guys and they're being called out. Is their fundraising? Oh, I ended up in the hospital, I need like $30,000. I need $50,000 for my medicine, stuff like that. I
oh
understand
yeah,
some support, but if it becomes your total identity, I think having a job, even in an Islamic field, working maybe at a masjid, working at a local, what's it called, dawah organization or something like that, that I can even understand, right? But if it's your brand and your product, and that's the only way you're making money, and then you also have to ask people for money. Oh, because I've poured my whole life into dawah, I need monthly support, I need patrons for Patreon and stuff like that. Sometimes it gets a bit much and it gets a bit cringy, and for a lot of people it feels like the sincerity is leaving, right? One of these guys recently, I don't know who he is, he recently got sick, and or something happened to him and he's asking for money, and he got called out by Bro Haji, right? Bro Haji, sometimes I appreciate the call outs he does, they're good. uh, I feel like he always has sincerity, right? Sometimes the way he does it, I don't agree with, but I think he's going down the right path of trying to bring some regulation to people. And obviously, he's not an industry himself or a company, but he's trying to bring some regulation in his own fashion. And with a lot of the Dava Bros recently, he's been calling them out for like they're basically
yeah,
asking for money for everything. And so that's what the problem is becoming, is the dawa industry is becoming so unusual, so weird. There's a lot of these guys who are every 3 months they come up, they have like 300,000 subscribers. Oh, I need money to, buy a new passport. That's, to me, it's like, okay, maybe you should get a job. And there's nothing wrong with um doing being a DoorDash driver. There's nothing wrong with being an Uber driver, right? To make money.
yeah,
I think the fact is, people, when they achieve a certain platform online, they feel like doing a job may be beneath them.
yeah,
And I want to stop here. It's like a compiled problem. It's not just one thing or the other, it's a compiled problem.
yeah. That's certainly true. And what I realized is you have mentioned few of the names in there. I mean, Bro
Yeah.
Haji, like he's doing fantastic work in this regard. I have a lot of disagreements with him, but we have to give him that. Like he's and he's getting a lot of heat for it. You don't realize, but when you read the comments on X
Yeah.
and on his even on his YouTube videos, you see that many people they're upset. I don't know if these people they share some sort of uh, money portion with these influencers, but I don't know like why they are taking it so seriously when the person who is involved in that money scam, uh, yeah, he's not that upset, but these people in the comment section, Mr. ABCXYZ789 ID, he's very upset. Like who? And he's asking like, who the heck is Bro Haji to ask this person what he's doing? It's people's money and they are giving him it to him, bro. It's common sense. That person had put a target of $10,000 or $5,000, and he's getting $50,000 out of those donations. And people are so stupid; they keep donating, even though they can see the amount of money on the screen that it has already went way beyond the target, you know, and they still keep donating. And this guy is not closing that fundraiser. Is still like he's been sick. from last 6 months. I think it's stupid. Uh, just think about that. I mean, if we seriously think about that, their money goes to Gaza, their money goes to Syria, their money goes to Lebanon. How much impact that would do in a good sense?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But obviously they're not. That's not what they're focused on, though. Like they're not. They're looking at it from their perspective, and they've built this tunnel view where it's like, okay, I'm doing da'wah, and because of my da'wah, people will become Muslim, and therefore, for this reason, I need to pour my whole life into it. And basically, most of their, you know, daily schedules look something like preparing for their live stream or preparing for a debate, and basically this is how they justify asking for money. I know, you
Yeah,
know, a lot of them may disagree with me. It's fine, they can disagree. Um, but then the problem becomes is the kind of money they're asking for. You don't know sometimes, like, because a lot of people now they have this, oh, zakat can be used for dawah, right? And so they make their uh, fundraising zakat eligible, and when it comes to that, that's a really like tough space, because they're
that
like, okay, you can't be doing that. Like, you know,
that's a red line.
yeah,
That's
that's
a
a red.
red line. Like
But the
you
problem
can't
is
even.
they blurred all
Yeah,
the lines so much. Like there's no parameters. That's what the problem is. There are no parameters. Um, there's no normalcy. It's just I don't know. It's like I feel like everybody should strive to have some form of employment or some form of a job, right? To sustain themselves and sustain their families. I do not think being a Dawah YouTuber is a career. I don't believe so. If your YouTube platform brings you 20, $30,000 a month, Alhamdulillah, great for you, right? Then if you want to quit, that's fine. That's up to you. Totally your choice, your life, right? But I don't believe this should be an industry where people are solely dependent on fundraising and YouTube to sustain their houses and their lives and their families. It's not a good precedent. The Prophet ﷺ worked, the Sahaba worked, right? When the amirs were appointed, they didn't want the salary, but they were like, no, to do your job properly, you have to take the salary, right? Now they'll be like,
yeah,
oh yeah, well, we're doing dawah, we need the salary to do dawah properly. I don't believe, we don't have an Islamic state who's paying you, right? It's not like you live in Pakistan and the Pakistani government is paying you just to do dawah or something like that, right? It's not like that. Taking it upon yourself and making your own rules and being like, oh, well, the Amir al Mu'min needs to get a salary to do his job properly. So therefore, to do dawah properly, I must, get funds. I just don't think the era and the time we're living in, unless of course there's a system built like that, which they have in a lot of these like Middle East countries. They actually have like departments of dawah where they pay people to do research and dawah and learn and stuff like that, and then they send them out to do Islamic work. Whether you agree or disagree is different, but they do have those things like that. So why don't you go over there, go to the Middle East, go to Qatar or Saudi or somewhere, and be like, hey, I want to work with you guys. They'll probably say you have to learn Arabic properly. Marhaba, come. We'll let you go to college for free. You can go to King Abdullah College, I think, in what's it called, Riyadh or somewhere, and you can go. And I believe the education is even free. You can even take your family. So there's a lot of
yeah,
opportunities out there to learn. But another problem is a lot of these dawa guys are not educated, and they don't want to spend time and effort to get educated. Like, and I'll take a name right now. Was it Dawa Man, right? The Dhadi wala guy,
yeah,
Pakistani guy, or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
he is, right? A few years ago, he's
I
like,
think
"Oh, I'm."
he is done. Like nobody even sees his content
But
anymore, I guess.
recently, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna basically quit Dawa for a few years, go get educated, and then I'm gonna come back." Right? I think the lasted all of like 2 months. Like, 2 months later, he was like in the Middle East or something like that, and started streaming again and stuff like that. But that's the thing, is like, go get educated properly, learn how to do dawah properly, learn Arabic properly, learn the kitabs properly, and most of these guys don't want to do that.
Yeah. The one of the problems I see with these people is, uh, and the people in general, is that they want to do dawah without knowledge. First thing, And the second thing, they don't have any shuyukh. Like if you're reading Aristotle and Plato and Kant and Descartes, you don't need a teacher. That's fine. But if you trying to, what is dawah? You are calling someone to Islam, right?
Yeah.
And Islam is way more than just the basic, like further ain knowledge, like where you do, where you know the namaz, some ahadith, um, few Quranic ayat, and that's you go into street and start doing dawah because you are good at it. I mean,
Mhm.
you can speak good. That is not how it works. You have to you have to learn the stuff, right? But what I realized from all these guys that they first, I doubt they have any shuyukh. Yeah, if they have any, if they had any shuyukh, like they would certainly stop them from doing all these malpractices and what sort of dawa they're doing, like uh, and then we will move to the other big problem, but I want to focus on this point. I'm not trying to say that I'm a very big guy, I'm a role model or whatever, but I had this fear, alhamdulillah, that when I started learning the deen with my sheikh, and for I think first 6 months, he me and him, we didn't talk on this stuff. I was like, just I want to learn Arabic, I want to learn the deen and this and that. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And then we had this random sessions, we call them muzakara, where I bring in a point and we have a chat on that point. And then he realizes and says, Wes, why don't you make videos, YouTube videos? And I told him, like, I want to, but there is a certain fear in my heart, like that's why I don't want to do that. And he says, what is that fear? And I said, I think it's gonna be too much for my ego to handle. Yeah, I just said it to him, and he said, he first he smiled and he said, look, if you study with me and you still fear that, it means you think in your mind like you are just um, someone who is studying by himself and he doesn't have a teacher. So if you go wrong, I will stop you. Yeah, and if I go wrong, my teacher will stop you. That's the whole point of having the tarbiyah. I was like, yeah, you have a point, but I still think that it's too much for me. And then said, no, no, just start doing some videos. I think you will do good. And he pushed me to do it. Otherwise, wallahi, I didn't have any plan to do any YouTube dawah. And the type of country we live in, we can't really do the street. There's no Hyde Park in Australia, you know. There is no street dawah here. So unfortunately, the only option, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, Allahu Alam, I'm left with this option that I have to do this. Yeah, and the big part of doing all this is just to just because I don't wanna say no to my teacher. Yeah, yeah, and it was he who pushed me, and then and I was like, I don't want to say anything that is not right. I mean, that is without knowledge, as Allah says in the Quran. And he says, okay, if you have that fear, that is very good. Just consult it with me. Like if any controversial topic you want to touch, just consult it with me, and inshallah ta'ala, we will go from there. If I ask you to stop it, stop it, don't do it. And alhamdulillah, it's been 3 years now, you know that. You've been a part of the journey, and I don't think that I have said anything, I did anything that would put a shame on my name if I die today. It's gonna hurt me in the afterlife. I don't think so. And if I have done anything like that, I seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the people that are involved in that. So again, this is how atal be ilm, he acts, you know, when he is in some sort of situation. But when I see all these people, they are like they think they have some sort of privilege. They're doing dawa, okay, treat us as celebrities, treat us like we have some singer, some musicians, and maybe film star. Why? Because we have won a debate against some idiot named God Logic.
I've watched that guy. The guy's kind of, I was kind of, he's
Yeah.
really dumb, and he just, he has a big platform, so he feels like he wins everything. But the guy's just actually really, like, really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think he is a good actor. He
And
put
he's a
he
good
puts good
actor. Oh,
theatrics. Yeah, yeah. If you think about it, he is not that stupid as he tries to pretend to be. I mean,
okay.
I watched his debate against Dr. Nasir, and Dr. Nasir is one of the people I admire in the Dawa industry. Dawa industry, not the Dawa scenario, as you could say. I don't
Uh-huh.
know have a proper word for it. Maybe you can help me with it. What's the word for this Dawa? I said industry, but I want to use a proper word like what it,
I
Dawa
won't.
League, Dawa Sphere. I think Dawa Sphere
I
is a
guess
better
that was
word.
fair. That was fair. Probably makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. So I think he's one of the better ones. I mean, the best ones. I like Dr. Shadi, and I have made that clear to you and many of the
Yeah.
people a lot of times. Dr. Nasser Karimian is one of those people who has a lot of other. He's an actual scholar, and he's got his master's in Islamic studies from Malaysia, like
Uh-huh.
which is a legit Islamic university. Not like it's not like taking an Islamic degree from London University or Cambridge is still fine because Sheikh Abdullah Baghdadi is there. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent there.
It's okay.
There's a lot of rambling. Um, but yeah, I I watched that debate, and I saw that Dr. Nasir was visibly frustrated with all those antics God logic put forward.
Uh-huh.
And he was not frustrated because of his arguments. He was frustrated because of his attitude. I mean,
Mm.
Dr. Nasir is an academic, and he was there to present a case and get good academic arguments. But the interlocutor was a clown, yeah? Like he is there just to put a show. And at one point, he just says, "Oh my God, you're really good at this, eh?" And Douglas said, "You're really good at this," and but he's referring to is that you're really good at theatrics.
Yeah.
And all the questions they're going crazy in the chat. Oh, doctor said that you are good at this. It means he just gave up and he conceded the debate. I mean,
I
yeah,
mean, look, the thing about debates is you actually don't have to be knowledgeable to debate. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be knowledgeable, you should be. A lot of times, if you're just more clever than your opponent and you know what you need to know, you can give a better performance. Because debates, especially online and in person, which are broadcasted, are more about gotcha moments and theatrics than actually proving a point.
yeah,
These debates which happen online are not educational, right? There's not like, okay, we are going to take one verse of the Quran and one verse of the Bible, which have, which either proves Islam and the verse of the Bible proves Islam, and then the other guy says, well, I'm going to take a verse which is very similar, which proves that Islam is not true or whatever, right? And they debate on that, right? And they have to bring
mm,
forward, like, um, points and proofs and stuff like that. It's not that. This is a lot of it is theatrics to get the crowd like riled up and get excited. And it's not, and I think you probably watched Mufti Shamail and Javed Akhtar, right? Did you watch that one?
yeah, yeah.
So,
Live,
so you watched it live. I think I watched it in the next day or something, right? And so Mufti Shamail, in my opinion, was trying to be very academic as much as he could, right? And Javed Akhtar was just trying to prove he's, what do you call that? An intellectual, right? And he did a very bad job at that, because when it came to intellectualism, Javed Akhtar came with nothing to the table. There was no
yeah,
intellectual edge when Javed Akhtar came. Um, you know, Mufti
yeah.
Usab was asking him questions, about certain logic. And what was it? What was the theory he was asking about? And the guy was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What was it? Oh man,
Theory?
No, no, he was talking about contingency argument.
Yeah, contingency argument. And he said like,
Contingency.
I don't know what
Yeah, I
contingency
don't know
is.
what contingency is, and this guy is like, he speaks fluent English, and he acts like he's an intellectual, and he writes all these intellectual books in like Urdu or something like that about religion and stuff. I'm not saying anything like any of what I'm saying is like this is accurate, but this is what he acts like Javed Akhtar. Now, when it came down to being placed on a platform where you have to defend your intellectualism, Javed Akhtar came out flat, like totally
Yeah,
flat. The next day or the following week, he came on the Indian news or something like that, and he said I came in. He's like, I wasn't ready. He's like, I didn't know. I didn't expect this. He thought कि कोई मदरसे के मौलवी होंगे, some मौलवी from a madrasa will come and he will do the same debate that anybody else does, and this is going to be easy to pull apart. He didn't expect that he's going to run into a guy who speaks Urdu, Hindi, who speaks English, who speaks Arabic, who has traveled, but is like 27, and
yeah,
he was expecting koi madrasa ka bachcha hoga, right? And I'll just destroy him using my fancy English and my fancy Urdu and stuff like that. And because he is a poet, right? He's a poet, he's a writer. He's he and I'm not saying he's a professional poet, but he can write poetry, he can write all these things. He's very good with Urdu, Javed Akhtar, right? That's
yeah,
his bread and butter. uh, and so he thought that he'll go in and he'll just destroy this kid, and it turned around on him. And then Mufti Yasir
yeah,
Nadeem was there too. And
yeah,
I think Mufti Yasir Nadeem asked a question, and he asked a question to Javed Akhtar. And Javed Akhtar was just basically like, okay, now I'm being attacked on multiple fronts. I wasn't
yeah,
expecting this. He was
yeah,
expecting a cakewalk, and it wasn't a cakewalk. And I don't think Javed Akhtar, if Mufti Shamal offers Javed Akhtar another debate and offers him $5 million, Javed Akhtar will not take another debate. You get in this avenue, in this space, Javed Akhtar, in my opinion, has been destroyed, right?
yeah,
And I don't think he can redeem himself, and he's probably gonna quit talking about Islam in the same way he used to before. And the funny thing was, he's like, well, I still celebrate Eid. I think it's a good holiday, right?
yeah,
He's saying things like this to show his Muslim side. Like, oh yes, I do have a Muslim side. I'm agnostic. I'm atheistic. I don't know what he is, honestly. But he's like, but I still celebrate. Eid. I enjoy Muslim celebrations. They're
yeah.
all wonderful. My
He
whole
says
family.
I'm he says I'm a cultural Muslim.
I'm a cultural Muslim. So is he agnostic or is he atheistic? Has he said that?
He is an atheist.
He's an atheist. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
but
give him that. There's time.
not the sort of atheist who would go on to prove that there's no God. Like he's just like, I don't believe in him, and I don't have any reason to prove to you that he doesn't exist. So I think he is a firm believer in uh, Russell's beliefs, like whatever
Okay.
Bertrand Russell said.
Bertrand Russell.
Uh, yeah, yeah, he's after that.
Okay. But anyway, so the Dawa space has become, it's become like a zoo at this point.
Yeah,
We're just people are trying to make money. That's one thing. I have no problem with making money. But my problem becomes is when you're just asking for donations, right? And
yeah,
your main thing you're doing is just YouTube dawa or street dawa and stuff like that. Join an organization, join an entity. They'll give you a salary. Like honestly, if you're good at dawa, there are organizations and entities who will pay you and they will give you a salary. Yeah, salary might be like average salary, like you'll make enough to pay rent on a house, have your groceries, take your kids to school and stuff like that. It won't be any incredulous salary. Like you won't get paid, like for example in America, you won't get paid like 150,000 to do street dawa or something. Maybe you might make 60,000 or 55 or something, average salary, right? And then you can figure something out on the side to do your individual dawa online or something. Spend some time. You have to hustle. That's the thing is, people now don't want to hustle, right? What people used to do before is they would have a full-time job and then they would hustle, or some people would
yeah,
have two full-time jobs and they would still hustle. People don't have the hustle no more. So to
yeah,
build something individually that you want to stand on, you gotta hustle. And if you don't hustle and build it yourself, you won't have an appreciation for it. And this is why the street dawa people or the online dawa people or whatever kind of dawa people, who are continuously asking for support and money. Asking for support and money is easy, right? You just go online. If you have a large platform, you just ask, people give, right? There's no actual hustle involved in that, right? Even standing in front of your house and making a video. Now some people are just so good at making like content. They can whip up like a really good appeal in 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's that stuff is easy, but putting in hard work and earning your bread, that's hard, and that's when you appreciate it and you value it. Just if you and me, we started a channel, like for example, this clandestine narrative. I said, okay, fine, I made you a picture on it, right? Add my picture too, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna do it together. And every 3 months, you're in Australia, I'm in America. We're like, oh, we need like $100,000 to do Dawah. The channel's at 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Without this 100,000, we want to go to Moldova and do Dawah, right? And without this 100,000, we won't be able to get the visas. We won't be able to get this. We won't be able to get that. We need all of this to do Dawah. Now we get the 100,000. We'll take our families. We'll go live there for 2 months. We'll do Dawah. But I mean, what are you gonna do for 2 months, 60 days, bro? It's like it's gonna be a vacation, but you're getting other people to pay for it. So you're going
Yeah.
to spend the money without thinking. There's going to be no sincerity in that money. But if you work hard and you go on a 3 day vacation, that vacation will mean more because you probably try to get a lot more done in 3 days than you would in the way you're doing it the other way. So it just goes
Yeah.
back to it, like you need to have some hustle, you need to work hard. And look, my YouTube channel, I don't make any money on it. I actually spend a little bit of money every single month. Like I spend I think $60 on it every single month. There's a sister who works for me. She does my content. And to me it's like, could I live without doing the content? Yes. This is $60 I give somebody, which helps them with their college education overseas, and they can pay maybe for their bus fare for the month or something. And she does my content, and my channel keeps churning. I have like 3150 subscribers, right? That's all through hard work. It's and I don't do any advertising, you know that. You don't do any
Yeah.
advertising for your channel, really.
No.
Maybe you do a little bit more than me, but you don't do much. um
Not
but
really reduce, man. But is what I do is sorry to cut you off.
no, no, you're fine.
You go on, and then we'll just talk about it. Someone has joined. Actually, I shared the link,
Yeah, no, I saw that.
and yeah, someone has joined. Like I will take him in. Then I will take you onto the stage, but I'll please let Asad Bhai complete what he's saying, and
Yeah.
then we'll take your
Yeah, so we don't
point
we
of view.
don't advertise our channels. We have like both
Yeah.
3,000 subscribers or something like that. And it's through
Yeah.
hard work, like 4 or 5 years of hard work. And people are, oh, only 3,000. Open a YouTube channel, make original content, put in your own hard work. Trust me, you're not gonna go overnight.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
It's been 3 years. I'm doing the content, and I think on
Mm.
my Urdu channel, I have like 15 less subscribers than you. I think it's
Yeah,
30, 31, 35.
alhamdulillah.
But honestly, I think around 1500 of them are bots, and I haven't paid anything to them. There was some malfunction and something like that. And all the Vietnamese people, they keep subscribing my my channel, even though they don't know Urdu, they don't
maybe
know English.
maybe it means something in their language.
Nah, I think it's just the YouTube.
Okay.
When they want to promote some channel, they put. Have you
Oh,
noticed like these people with 2 million or 3 million subscribers, and their views goes on
yeah,
to 100K and 200K?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and most of them, they don't spend a penny on the advertisement. It's just the YouTube algorithm. It was crap, and
Mm.
they promote to the boards. These countries like Taiwan, Vietnam, and Thailand, they are the hotspots for the bots.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
many
didn't know
people,
that.
they're sitting there. They have like tens of thousands of accounts, and what they do is basically, let's say you want to monetize your channel. You go onto some Telegram group or Facebook group,
Yeah.
and you say that, okay, I will pay $10, and $10 in Vietnam
Oh,
is big amount,
yeah, it is.
and you'll get 1,000 subscribers for that. And what
Yeah.
is that? Out of those thousands, maybe 900 are bots, and the $100 are sorry, 100 people are in that Telegram group. So this is how it works.
Okay.
Somebody told me to do this, but I said I will try to go the long way. Although I'm not really monetized till now. I think 1 or 2 days ago, I did all the requirements, but still they are still in the confirmation process. But anyway, I have spent, I think, thousands of dollars on my YouTube channel in terms of editing, thumbnail making, uh, the so I write the content myself.
Mm,
Yeah, but it's been like 3 years, and I have someone doing my content every
mm,
month. Yeah. So the point is, like, I'm not saying that I have spent this money and I did a big thing. No, I did it because I wanted to. So
mm.
this is the part of Dawa. I have two jobs, and I'm living in a country that does not qualify as Darul Islam.
Yeah.
There is a certain obligation upon me to do some Dawa to at least make it legitimate to live here, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of opinions, but I follow the one that says living in the Darul Kuf is not allowed unless you do Dawa. Like,
Yeah.
this is what Dr. Shadi follows. Your case is different because you born there. I'm not sure what the fuqaha say about that, but I'm
Mm.
different. Anyway, the reason of saying this is that, let's say tomorrow I have 10,000 or 50,000 subscribers, and I say, okay, guys, now it's time to pay me back.
You could do that.
Nah, never. Even though if I would prefer to close my social media activism, whatever you call it. I would just prefer to close it, wind it down, burn it. But I won't. I'll never ask. I'll
Burn.
never ask any money from for doing my content.
Mm.
Okay, so if I, let's say, if I have a course or so, I mean, on my Urdu channel, I'm offering some free courses. One of them is basic fiqh course for everyone.
Okay.
In the beginning, I tried to cover some costs because I'm paying the fee and everything for the teachers and all the content arrangement. Uh, I tried to get some fee out of it, although
Hmm.
I knew that I have to pay most of it from my pocket.
Yeah.
And the people, they were really reluctant to join that course. So first semester passed, and not many people joined. So I just say, okay, I'll do it myself. And now the course is still going on, and but it's totally free, and it's for everyone now. No enrollments. It's just on YouTube. If you want to do it, join it. Welcome. Yeah. I mean, not welcome to. I'm not saying to you. I'm saying, like, in general, like, whoever is listening. Uh, yes, then. Assalamu alaikum. It's been a long time. You've
Assalamu
been
alaikum.
waiting and listening to a rambling. How are you?
Walaikum assalam ji. So I was just a while ago I was reading these verses from Surah Anam, and the second verse kind of surprised me. So I just wanted to share, and I wanted to know your opinion on it.
Okay. So, what is it? Are you the same guy who talked to me about like Ramdi and all that stuff
Yes,
like
yes,
few weeks
yes,
ago? Okay.
yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we have like, there's a more qualified person than me. Like, he's a Hafiz. My brother Asad. So I think he would be better suited to answer that question. But I will try to do that. My, like, if it comes to that, if he is unable, like, he says no, I don't want to answer that
Yes.
question. I'll try to. Yeah, that was the fun. Like, that was joke part. But yeah, I said it serious, in serious voice. Anyway, go ahead.
Asad bhai, could you answer me? Could you translate the second verse of Surah Nam? And then I just wanted to ask, when Allah says that, could you please give me the translation if it is possible for you, please?
Uh, Zen, can I ask some question before? Because I think you have read the verse, and you have the access to translations, like few translations you have already read. So why you want him to translate it for you? Like, what is the special? You don't agree with the translations given on internet or
No,
on
no, no,
the
no, no.
Mus'haf?
No, no, it's not that.
Okay.
I have I have the app, Maulana Modudi's app, but if I go there now, I wouldn't be able to be here at that moment. That's why I wanted to.
Okay.
It's nothing like that. It's not that I don't agree with it. I'm just it made me kind of sad, and I just wanted to share it with you.
Okay. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We have the second ayah of Surah An'am, right?
Yes.
والذي خلقكم من طين ثم قضى أجله وأجل مسمى عنده ثم أنتم تمترون. And so I'll use two translations. One is Dr. Mustafa Khattab, the Clear Quran, which is very widely used
Yeah.
in America. He is the one who
Also,
created you from.
I have
Go ahead.
shared it on the screen if you
Oh, you
want.
have? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. He is the one who created you from clay, then appointed a term for your death, and another known only to him for your resurrection. Yet you continue to doubt. Then there's Mufti Taqi Saab's translation. He is the one who created you from clay, then destined a term. The fixed term lies with him, yet you are in doubt. Okay. So, Brother Zain,
What
Yeah.
is troubling
My
you?
uh, what I read was that he decreed a term for you,
Mhm.
uh, and he has decreed another term for you. So what I got from it's written here that it's for resurrection. But what I understood from it and what is clear in Maulana Mududi's
Tafhim al Quran.
translation, in his translation, it says that he has decreed another term for you, which means that even after you are resurrected, even after you are there and you have seen everything and enjoyed everything, there might be a destiny for you there as well. Is what kind of made me sad.
Okay. So I have shared the Molana Modudi's and it's been highlighted in the blue color. You can see that.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Obviously, you're reading a translation, and a tafsir, and everybody does it slightly differently from maybe a different lens or a different perspective or different correlations and stuff like that. So it's best to, if you're just looking at this, to ask somebody who maybe is a little bit more well versed in tafhim al Quran and ask them, what does this mean? And if something is saddening you, you discuss it with that person who is more well versed in that translation so they can explain it better. Sometimes reading a translation on surface without knowing the total correlations will cause people strife. So that's why it's best, if something is maybe disturbing you or confusing you, you ask somebody who maybe has a little bit more knowledge into the source. And with Tafhim al Quran is done from a different, the translation is done from a different lens, compared to maybe the Clear Quran. The Clear Quran is done from the lens of doing da'wah. Mufti Taqi Saab's translation, the one he's done, is done from the perspective of offering an easy to understand translation for the layman. There's different ways they do it, and they use different sort of backgrounds on it. Obviously, the best thing is to learn the Arabic language so you can understand the Quran in its actual language. But if you're using a translation, sometimes if something is confusing you or disturbing you, you should ask somebody who knows that translation well to explain it to you. And I'm not an expert in tafhim al Quran, so I can't answer what that third term means according to Maulana Maududi. But obviously, according to Sheikh Mustafa Khattabu, who I've met, very nice guy. Um, he's talking about resurrection.
You have met Dr. Mustafa Atal?
Yeah, yeah, he came to our masjid. He wanted to come, so we invited. I can't say we invited him, but we invited him in technicality. We had
Hmm.
iftar together, and then he led the prayers and stuff like that.
Subhanallah. I have the frame in my home, and we can have a look what it says in the tafsir. So, but I'm not sure like what exactly is troubling you.
Yeah, what's troubling you? We're trying to understand that.
What's
Like
troubling
you
me is
said,
the point.
it's,
What's troubling me is the point that even if you go to heaven, there is a destiny determined for you, and after that destiny, uh, You're gonna be no more. What I understand from it
Nah,
is this, and this is what makes me
I
sad.
I think you got it wrong. You got it all muddled up. So that term is not about heaven and hell. There's few steps in between your death and your resurrection, and then going to the Jannah and Jahannam. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the verse is not talking about Jannah and Jahannam in the second term. The second term is about one of those middle periods, but I will just check you the frame for you. How does that sound?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الذي خلقكم من طين ثم قضى أجلا وأجل مسمى عنده ثم أنتم تمترون. So he says he is the one who has created you from clay, and then he appointed a term for your life. And then there is another term that is being set by him, with him, you can say. I've just roughly translated from Urdu. So this is the translation of translation. And in the second, um, okay, so मट्टी से पैदा किया, created from
Mhm.
clay, he says the all the ingredients of the human body are obtained from the soil, and there is nothing that is out of this earth. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I have created you from clay. And when he says that the second term which you are referring to, he says यानी कियामत की घड़ी जबकि तमाम अगले पिछले इंसान असरिनो जिंदा किए जाएंगे और हिसाब देने के लिए अपने रब के सामने हाजिर होंगे. Now it's clear. So
जी जी
he's not referring to Jannah and Jahannam. He is referring to the 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 hour of Qiyamah, when you are being resurrected. The Qiyamah means the resurrection. So when you are
जी जी
resurrected, it has a certain time period. After that, that will finish as well.
जी
And
जी
that the time period of resurrection, that is also a point. That is what he is saying. I think uh, that will alleviate your sadness, I guess.
uh, yes, it does kind of in a way because um, uh, I mean during your talk and Asad Bhai's talk, I think I kind of you came to a conclusion that uh, although you are I am made of clay, and I have something inside me which is Allah's word basically. So whether what I am is this clay part or that word, I do not know. So I think I am taking this clay part really seriously when I am not just nervous system. I think it is just to make me strong. I think maybe you do not get my point uh, by Asad Bhai's reaction, but जैसे मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि उर्दू में बता दूंगा। असद
Yeah,
भाई आपको उर्दू
yeah,
आती है?
yeah.
थोड़ी
He
बहुत.
knows. But what he is from Karachi. He is a professor in Urdu. It's just like this stream is not from Urdu, but you can say your point, and we will discuss in English as well because the audience is primarily English. Whatever, like three people, if they watch, I don't care. Like they should know whatever is going on in here. So you explain it
हाँ
in Urdu.
जी जी
We'll try
अवैस भाई, तो
our
मैं
best to.
हाँ अवैस भाई मैं ये एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ कि यानी हालांकि मैं मिट्टी का बना हुआ हूँ, और अगर उस लिहाज से देखें तो मैं एक नर्वस सिस्टम के सिवा कोई और चीज हूं नहीं। ठीक है जी। अगर साइंस के लिहाज से देखें तो मैं एक नर्वस सिस्टम यानी अपने ब्रेन और न्यूरॉन्स और नर्व्स के सिवा मैं कुछ हूं नहीं। अगर मैं इससे ज्यादा हूं तो मतलब जो मुझ में है वो खुदा की रूह है ना, या खुदा का वर्ड है जिसे वो अपना हुक्म कहता है। ठीक है जी। तो मैं ये हूं या वो हूं, आई मीन मुझे ये चीज तो सैड करती है कि मेरा ये नर्वस सिस्टम या मेरा जो मिट्टी का बना हुआ जो बदन है वो फना हो जाएगा। लेकिन मैं उस चीज को नहीं समझ पा रहा जो अ, खुदा का हुक्म है। तो शायद इस वजह से मुझे थोड़ी वो परेशानी हुई कि अ,
What you're
अ,
going through, what you're going through is like it is an existential crisis. That's what it is. What do you say, Asad bhai?
I don't know. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to
Uh,
understand what the brother is.
you didn't understand? Oh, so,
No,
okay,
no,
so
no, no. I understood. Obviously, there's one thing is
you understood the
understanding, and
words,
then
but yeah, yeah,
no,
but
but
you
trying
haven't
to,
gone
but
into the
no, no,
depth
but also trying to understand and give a
process.
proper answer, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I don't want to say it's existential crisis, but it's definitely he has some questions. They need answers. He probably needs, rather than on a live stream, he probably needs to spend some time, whether it's with you or somebody, and just have a conversation. And then obviously, a lot of times in conversation, what works is if the person who's listening writes down the points, comes back after a few days, and both people they chill out, and the second person comes back and is like, okay, here is what your questions are, and here are what the answers are, right? And this basically creates an environment of learning. And the other person, if they're truly trying to learn, they both learn a lot. So basically, whatever questions that he has, more than welcome. We can send your email addresses, and you can send us the questions, and we can inshallah answer them. It's not a problem. And have a discussion. It's not just about answering them via email and not talking to you, but whatever questions you have, inshallah, we can try to answer them. Where are you based? Are you based in Pakistan or outside?
I am Pakistani, but at the moment I am in UK.
Oh, you're in the UK. Okay, that's fine. And this is a very common look. I work, I do a lot of masjid work and stuff like that. These are very common questions that come up, whether in masajid or outside of masajid. Those people have these types of questions. It just takes some time and some effort, and a lot of times people are they're tired. They don't want to go and ask at the masajid because a lot of times they don't get good answers, um, or either they're shamed or either they're not, taken seriously. So I can understand having the questions, the paradigm you're coming from, and also at the same time not wanting to ask them in a masjid because you're probably not going to get an answer, or any institution even you're not going to get an answer. So I totally understand that. So yeah, like I said, if you want to send us the questions, we can sit down with you in another separate session and answer some of these questions and help you out, inshallah.
I think Asad bhai, you understood what I was trying to say, and even if it is so, even 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 if there is a destiny after this destiny, even if there is a death after this death, it shouldn't matter. Whatever is written and whatever is decreed is the will of Allah. And yeah, yeah.
But
So
I just want to clarify one thing. I think by the word ajal, you are taking it as death. Am I wrong or right?
yes, you are
Ajal
right.
does ajal
I,
doesn't
yeah,
mean
yeah, yeah.
death.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, ajal doesn't mean that. Ajal means the set time.
So okay, so not to get too much into this conversation, but the one problem with doing a translation word by word is, a lot of times the context surrounding it can change the meaning in any language, right? So, and I'm not getting into
Yes.
the specific ayah, right? But where, if a is saying ajal, this is what it means, you're saying no, I don't think this is what it means. You have to take context around it. You have to take the context of the few ayah before it, the few context of the few ayah after it, and to make it a complete narrative, right? So this is where I'll say, like, having just a discussion on one word and be like, no, I don't think this is what it means, because then when you do it like that, it changes up the whole narrative, right? And so when we're approaching translation, when we're approaching tafsir, when we're approaching any sciences related to Islam or anything um, complex, when it relates to a physical meaning and a meaning which relates to your heart and your soul, we have to understand how changing one word or the context around it can change a whole narrative for each person individually, because we don't see things the same way, right? I may see things in one way, you may see things a different way, Awais may see things a different way. Also, our experiences in life also shape how we even perceive certain things. Um, and so, me living in the United States of America, being born and raised here, um, having gone to Pakistan multiple times, for example, when I go to Pakistan, I get mistreated by a lot of people, right? At first, they don't hear me, they don't know, they just look at me, right? And most of the time, if I'm in Pakistan, either I'm in very casual pants and shirt, or either I'm in kurta shalwar, right? So immediately people judge me. Even in America, because of the way I look, immediately people will be like I met one guy and he was like, I don't come from a Jamaat Islami background. I actually never read the female Quran. Much respect and love for it. But one of the guys, he immediately met me, and he'd known me before. He'd met me before. He told his brother, he's like, I don't want to deal with this guy. He's like, why? He's really good. And so then he invited me to his masjid. I gave a khutbah, and the guy's like, he's like, I judged you. I should not have judged you, right? So those experiences a lot of times will influence how we want to understand and how we understand even the translation of the Quran. And even reading a translation of the Quran in English, one person may read it one way and another person may read it another way. And I know I'm getting into like the deeper topic, but what you guys are discussing right now, I don't, first of all, I don't think it should be discussed on a public platform, on a YouTube channel. The reason being is we're all trying to understand what we're even saying or what we're perceiving things, right? And I don't think it's good for public perception if to have these discussions online when we're trying to understand. Having an educated discussion where we know what perspective we're coming from is different. Rather, we don't want to confuse people who are watching the stream later on, right? That's my perspective, right? You're trying to understand something. Oasis is trying to explain it. I'm trying to understand what both of you guys are trying to get on the same plane. So for that perspective, um, like I said, if you want to have talk with us, that's fine. We're open to it. I do appreciate you even jumping on the stream. It takes a lot of bravery to jump on a stream. Before uh, before I even did YouTube, I would never jump on a stream. After I started YouTube, even then I wouldn't jump on a stream. The only person stream I really jump on regularly is a waste. That's it. Nobody else, right? Because it's not a comfortable
He
space.
he
Go ahead.
hijacks my streams.
I do hijack your streams, and I love
Yeah,
him for the
yeah.
sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's a good brother.
I,
Allah bless
I
him
I
and his
love you.
family. So what's it called? But
Same,
but
same.
like I said, I have no problem. Even like later on, if you want to do like a Zoom meeting and talk or something like that. But let me ask you a question, straightforward question. You've
Yeah.
been in the UK for a few years, right?
No, it's been 1 year
1 year.
exactly.
Okay, 1 year.
Yes.
How comfortable are you in the UK
Uh, uh,
as a Muslim?
I am, to be honest, I've learned a lot here in the
Okay.
last 1 year. In Pakistan, there's lots of
No,
confusion.
no, no. I'm not
As I
asking
said,
about that. I'm not asking about your religious side. I'm asking how comfortable you as a Muslim person in the UK. I'm not asking your religious perspective, but as a Muslim, are you do you feel okay, comfortable in the UK? You don't feel any sort of like hostility towards yourself as a Muslim.
no,
Okay.
Any Islamophobia, any remarks,
Oh,
anything to target your nationality? Because I know there's a lot of slurs going on in UK. From 80s and 90s. They call us peckies or something like that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then
yeah.
the other thing is you were talking about you learned a lot. So go ahead, tell us about that. And I know a lot of people when they leave Pakistan, they learn a lot. Because in Pakistan, Islam is very sheltered and it's very secluded. You can, if you go to a Barelvi masjid, you will never go anywhere else. If you go to a Deobandi masjid, you only go there. If you go to Ahl Hadith masjid, and you'll learn nothing about the complexities.
Yeah.
yes. So,
Um, I'm the living example of that thing. Whatever Asad bhai is
Yeah.
saying, I was just a regular Joe in Pakistan. I'm still a regular Joe, maybe even less than that, but at least I can say that I have teachers now. I have good brothers like Asad bhai, and I'm actually doing Dawah, which I never thought of doing in my life when I was in Pakistan. I was too liberal for what I'm now. Asad Bhai has gone to eat lunch though.
No, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta make breakfast for my son, but I'm still here. I'm still listening. But go ahead,
He,
Zain al Abidin. You were saying something.
So, I mean, it has cleared my hand in the sense because in Pakistan, the problem is you are surrounded by a lot of people and their opinions, they don't let you truly understand yourself. And there are so many perceptions of you, which when you become lonely, when you accept solitude, which is the case here in foreign countries, when you don't have family and friends, then you come to know yourself. Is truly is what I learned here. So yeah, that is my experience.
Asad Bhai, any words?
I'm about to switch devices, so give me a minute.
All right, no problem. He's gonna use the HD camera, guys. So stay tuned. Now is you'll see the real Asad Bhai. Oh my God, he's coming from there. Then you're not getting bored of uh, the jokes we do. Like me and Asad Bhai, we do all sort of discussions and in a very light mood. So one thing he said, I just want to uh, reiterate on that is that it's very important. I mean, solitude is important, contemplation about your situation is important, but also important is that you go and get mingled with other Muslims, right? Other righteous Muslims. And you also talk to people who are knowledgeable and who are good people. Knowledge is, I mean, um, it's important, but more important is them being righteous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where if I tell you
Yes.
to go find righteous people in your locality, right? Without mentioning the name of the city or the town or suburb
Hmm.
where you're living in. If I tell you to do that, where would you go? I mean, not the name of the place. I mean, no, not the city name. I just want to you to mention the place name. You would go to
uh,
school, college, university, market.
to be honest, I don't think there are much people around, and I don't think there is. I don't have lots of time because of being married and because of having children. So
Okay,
that's all that I have, and a few neighbors. Um,
fair,
yeah,
fair. Uh, I would say I really wanted you to say that it's masjid. You know, every town, like even in UK, you have a lot of masajid there. So
yeah,
I would suggest whatever Asad told you is very spiritual and profound. I would suggest go to the mosque other than Juma. Like everyone goes for the Juma, right? For the Friday
yeah.
prayer, but go some other day as well. I mean, just one time every week. Take your kids if you have kids, like toddlers, infants. You can't take to masjid technically because they're too little to understand. But if they're toddlers, the walkers, the school going children, take them to masjid with you as well, and try to look for the people who regularly come there, who sit there after the prayer and read Quran. Yeah, try to get close to them. All of these questions they will go away. You will feel the kind of tranquility you will have never experienced before. Yeah. So
Yes.
Islam is not people think that it is all intellectual and based on knowledge and all those stuff. Yeah, that is one dimension of Islam. But there is another lived reality. Islam is a lived reality, like you live it. It's an experiment. You can't really learn anything from everything from the books and from the experiences of other people. You actually have to live it yourself. So how do you live that? You read Quran, you go to masajid, you mix up with good righteous Muslims, And if you feel that you want to learn more and you want to get into the deeper, uh, I say, deeper sort of understanding of Islam, you should get a teacher. You should start learning Islam as well, as a proper academic discipline, and that will help you. That will remove a lot of your questions and the problems you are facing.
Oh, this way, can I say something?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Tafaddal.
So basically, in your case, I look at it a little bit differently than it is. Um, my perspective would be go to a place where you can meet normal, semi-practicing Muslims and just get to know them. Just hang out, and I think just get to know people in the UK who are practicing Islam. Not even I wouldn't even say go to the people masjid going people. Just the normal people who are practicing. Get to know them,
Yeah.
but make it your goal that you will slowly start to see different people from different perspectives and different walks of life who are practicing in different forms, and I think that will help you a lot, because coming from Pakistan, and I'm sure Awais saw this coming from Pakistan to a foreign country, your worldview changes a lot about Islam and about even Muslims. Because in Pakistan, we have a very negative image of Muslims because of how people, Islam and Pakistanism is fused together for a very bad reason. Um, for example, in Pakistan, people say, all Maulvis are bad. And the reason they say that is because, generally speaking, whether you go to a masjid or you go somewhere, you'll find a imam who's cheated somebody or imam who's defrauded somebody. So, therefore, the whole image of every single imam is all the Maulvis or men with beards and hats are all bad. Right? Or they only understand Islam from a perspective of coming to the masjid, and if you don't come to the masjid, you are a sinner, right? So it creates a big negative image. So that's why it also makes people feel differently about the Quran and how they see and how they perceive the Quran. And I think you guys mentioned Ghamdi Sahab earlier. So are you, Zainal Abidin, are you like, do you listen to Ghamdi? You watch Ghamdi?
Zanba, you are mute. You can unmute yourself if you want to respond to that question.
No, he left.
Oh,
Labit mo na Bagadia.
you did it. You did it. Like, why
I
did you
guess,
mention Gandhi
yeah, I shouldn't have
out of
mentioned
this?
Ghamdi.
No way.
I
No way.
I
Yeah.
guess I guess mentioning Ghamdi is like, it makes people lose internet connection or something. But
The
no,
camel
hopefully,
that
yeah,
the
the camel
the straw that broke the
broke the
camel's
camel. No,
back.
I think I no, he's a good brother. I think he'll come back. Um,
Yeah.
but what's it called? No, look, let's be. Oh, you don't want to eat more? No. Let's be honest about it. When it comes to dawah, for dawah to Pakistani people is very different than dawah to any other population, because the way Pakistani people have unfortunately been forced to see Islam through a very unusual lens, it makes it very intricate. You have to be very delicate in how you do dawah, especially with Pakistani people, because their Islam, if they come from Pakistan, and you know this, you came from Pakistan, and alhamdulillah, it seems as though you had more of a solid upbringing with your family and stuff like that. But for a lot of
Yeah.
people, the Islam that they come from is very toxic and it's very bad and it's very dangerous, because it's
Yeah.
not, there's actually, and I hate to say it like this, there's no actual spiritual connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a very physical and like compensation based um you know relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which to me is very dangerous. That people, they only see it, the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the form of, oh, if you do this, you'll get sawab, if you do this, you'll get guna, and if you pray like this, if you don't pray with a topi, your prayer is not accepted, things like this. And it turns a lot of people off, right? They don't have a connection or a love with Islam. It's very transactional. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for, transactional.
Yeah.
And transactional
It's a good
Islam
word.
is, yeah, it's very bad. And it's like, oh, if you don't pray 20 rakats tarawih, it's as though you didn't pray at all. And you know what ends up happening is most people end up not praying at all. They're
Yeah,
like, ya ar ya par, right? If you don't do this, then don't do that, and that's what they end up doing. And this is why people from Pakistan, they end up leaving Islam, or either they end up in a way leaving but returning after some time when they realize, oh, I do need Allah, I do need God, I just didn't know how I need Him. So it's very unfortunate, it's very dangerous, it's very sad, because we've made it very transaction based. It's not
yeah,
healthy at all.
yeah. The thing with the Pakistani sort of like the problem you mentioned is I see it from slightly different lens that I think there is two extremes, and then there is people who are in the mid range, or you can say on the median. So one extreme is like they're very strict. If you don't have a fist length of dadi, and if you don't have a topi on your head, like and you're going to masjid and you're praying in t-shirt, they will they will certainly stare at you and they'll think like you're doing something wrong. If you're doing rafai, then they will think like you are doing something, some bidah or something like that. And then there are people who won't pray at all, like they will leave faraid, the first 5 daily prayers, they will leave them. They will eat openly in Ramadan. They will, I don't know, they don't even know how was the process and the limits of zakat. Yeah, they're far away from the religion altogether. And then there's people like we were living on the median range. Like, yeah, we follow Islam, but as long as it suits us. So this is this has been happening from last 20-30 years when Musharraf became president first time. I think that there was certain people who are already doing that, but that strict bifurcation of extremely religious and non extreme, extremely non religious people, that was not there before him. And I grew up in that time. I was very little when he
तो
came to
तुम
power.
तो मुशर्रफ तो तुम्हारा हीरो है ना, राइट?
I used to be when I was
ओह,
liberal.
अच्छा।
Yeah, yeah,
तो
yeah,
मैं तो
yeah.
ऐसे ही कह रहा था। You can say,
No,
yeah.
no, I really used to admire him.
I
You
think
know,
I
he
think
used
I
to,
think a lot of people admired him though. Like even my father used to admire him because when he came, there was so much corruption. Everybody felt like this is what's going to fix the corruption.
but the corruption that was there. I mean, Pakistan was never a model country for Islam, right? But the corruption that was mostly there before Musharraf, it was monetary, financial. The corruption after him, it shifted to religious and spiritual. So he brought in all the liberalism and secularism into Pakistan. He institutionalized it, and now we're just reaping the fruit of that thing. But what I'm trying to say is that that was in response to what you said, that Dawah jo Pakistani people, it has to be taken case by case. One size doesn't fit all. Like Zain, he has different sort of problem. Awais, when he came from Pakistan, he had different set of problems. It's not like a harmonious or uniform sort of problems that you
One
have one
size
solution
fits
for all
all.
of them. Yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
size fits all.
Yeah, in that case, it doesn't, because everyone has a different set of mind in
Yeah,
Pakistan.
I think that's fair to assess. It also, like I said, it depends on your background. It depends on where you come from. It depends on how you see things. It's all very different.
Yeah,
And look, man, I
yeah,
live in America. I see so many problems and so many people how they're living Islam or how they're living as Muslims is very problematic. How we live as families is problematic. How we, for example, a lot of people they go to. You've probably seen the comedian. I don't find him funny. His name is Hassan Minaj. Have you ever heard of Hassan Minaj?
I know Russell Peters. because I used
No,
to
no, no,
watch him.
no, not Russell Peters.
That's all.
Hassan Minaj is this Indian Muslim comedian. He
Yeah.
married a Christian. He married a Hindu girl, and so the justification he gives for marrying the Hindu girl is his parents are like, you can't marry a Hindu. He's like, I'm a comedian. Who's gonna marry me? And so he married a Hindu girl, and people, a lot of young
What
Muslims, they what is that?
what bizarre reason is that? Like, who's gonna marry me? So I will
Yeah.
marry a Hindu
And
girl. Like,
so
what is?
his sister took his
Yeah.
side, and she said, he's right. He's a comedian. No one's gonna want to marry him. And so, you know, that's the proof he gives. Now, this is a dangerous precedent because a lot of young Muslims go watch his comedy shows. If somebody gets
Yeah.
influenced, people will be like, "Oh, he got married to a Hindu. Why shouldn't I?" They're good people. Like, there's a lot of good
Mm.
Hindus, right? They respect Muslims. They like the other day I was at my uncle's house. Allah have mercy on him. It's his house, but he passed away many years ago. His family lives there. And so I stopped. I was going inside. It was Eid day, and this Hindu family stops. They say, "Hello, how are you?" I said, "I'm good. How are you?" They're like, "Eid Mubarak. Please enjoy your day." They're Hindu. They're from India, but they're very friendly with Muslims.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I can definitely relate to that. I have certain experiences, um, which tell me that in Pakistan we had a certain image of a Hindu, like it's like they have of a Muslim. It's mostly interconnected sort of relationship. So we used to think that the Hindus they always hate Muslim, but it's not the case. When I came to Australia, I had like some of the best friends I made here are the Hindus. Yeah, and why? Because they respect my religion, and I have no reason to disrespect theirs. But at the same time, when we compare it to the time when I was in Pakistan, it was totally different. I would never even conceive the possibility that there could be a good Hindu. Yeah. And I, I'm pretty sure they think the same of the Muslims in there. So why is it different when the country changes? Is it because we live the experience, we live the reality, we meet them, we know them. When you know the people, I see a lot of your experiences. They are a lot of what you say is based on experiences, right? You don't really say much bookish jargon and terminology. Most of what you share is your lived experience. That there was this guy, you meet him, and he said this, and then that imam said this to you, and then you meet this alim. I think an average person who wants to learn something and who wants to know something, they have this way to go and face the reality, not just read about it, not just know that from the internet, or from the social media, or from the news. But unfortunately, that is the case in Pakistan and India. Like there's a lot of information gap, knowledge gap, we can say, that is being created deliberately by the politics and the news. So yeah, I agree with you completely on that thing. Asad bhai, are you busy? Like, I think you have muted yourself. If you're talking, please unmute. If you're not,
No, no, I was
uh,
I was listening to you. No, मैं तुम्हारे को भी
yeah.
मौका दे रहा था भाई तुम भी कुछ बोल लो ना.
All right, all right. So
No, no,
guys, he's saying
but
like,
no,
yeah,
but at the same time, I got like 3-4 more minutes. I don't know how
yeah,
long you intend on going on these streams, but like usually on Wednesday mornings, I have about an hour, 15 minutes. So,
yeah.
but just because the brother Zain he joined, I took a little bit extra time. Um,
Okay.
but what's it called? But yeah, I have like 2-3 more minutes. So if you wanna continue afterwards, that's fine. But if you
No,
wanna
no, no.
close it off,
Yeah. So just your final remarks. Like there is a lot to unpack in about what's wrong in the modern dawa. But yeah, we have discussed
I
the
think
main
I think we
topic,
need to
which
I
is the
think we need to
money.
continue this discussion. I don't think this
Yeah,
discussion is over.
yeah. Just let me know how much time you can give on Wednesday mornings,
Yeah.
so we can plan the streams accordingly.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe from next time we can probably have like an agenda or something. And obviously, I
Yeah,
So yesterday, not today, yesterday, my son, he woke me up at 4:30. So I was up for almost like 20 hours or something until I finally fell asleep. And so
All right.
when I woke up this morning and prayed Fajr and everything, man, I was dead tired. I didn't even remember. So I was at the gym
Mm.
when you messaged me, and I'm like, oh shoot! I told him I'm gonna do the stream, so I was like, let me hurry up at the gym. So I did
Yeah.
my last. I hurried up and did my 2 sets. I had diverging uh, back row. It was a back machine, and then I had one more front lateral pull down machine. I had to complete those, and then I hurried up and did those. And then right now I'm very focused into building my muscles, like not physical muscles, but gaining muscle mass. So that's why I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I gotta make sure I take care of this. Because
Yeah.
obviously I'm getting to that age. I'm getting close to 40, where
Yeah.
diabetes and things like this,
You.
especially due to our body composition, being
Weren't
desi is
you?
what?
Weren't you 55 last year?
No, man, what the hell are you talking about?
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
I don't know if you're
I must have
joking.
confused you. I
I
must
don't
have
know.
confused you with someone else. No.
Oh
No. This
God,
is.
no! I'm 38. I just turned 38.
Oh,
So
you're literally 4 years older than me.
yeah, I'm
Oh
not that
man.
much older than you. So what's it called? But anyway, right now I'm focused on that. So I want to make sure I don't like miss a day. And I was like, oh man, I made a commitment. I totally forgot about the commitment. I apologize. But I was like, the base is chill. I don't have to worry about like preparing anything or anything like that. And so, but
Yeah.
next time, I'm not saying let's prepare like a whole lecture or something, but let's come a little bit more prepared and have two, three talking points so we can focus on those because
Yeah.
I lose focus very easily. And
It's the same. Like when it's the loose discussion, you always go on to the different, rambling on
yeah,
different
and
topics.
we're we're
Not
we're
you.
still
I mean,
we're
by
still
us.
supposed to have a discussion on your buddy Sayyid Muzammil. So
Yeah. Yeah. You wanna do that in Urdu or in English?
I'd say let's do it in English. He loves English. But anyway, let's do the Dawa one more Dawa one, and then maybe we'll jump into Sayyid Muzammil or Riski Dawa.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Because
Sure.
I recently saw a stream he was doing, and he was talking, and I think I sent it to you. I don't remember where he was talking about women um who enter in sort of like OnlyFans. Not he wasn't talking about OnlyFans, but sort of like OnlyFans type of stuff. And he was talking about um women taking advantage of men because men will pay for viewing inappropriate content. And he was talking about it from a very political perspective. He did not say one
Mhm.
literal religious word. He and he I don't know why he just doesn't drop Sayyid from his name. It's okay. Sayyid is a religious title. Just drop it from your name. But anyway, so he was talking about
Mhm.
it from a societal perspective of how damaging it is. But anyway, wait,
Yeah.
I have to get going. I have to make a few things, and then go to
Yeah.
work. So
Sure.
inshallah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the conversation. I hope the Zainul Abidin Sab, we didn't upset you. What's it called? We were trying to be very friendly, very easygoing, and I was only asking
Nah,
about Ramdi Sab.
he
Go
will be
ahead.
all right. I think he needed to go.
Okay,
He
okay,
will be all right. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. That's fine.
I have said harsher things than you about
Oh, okay.
Ramdi in front of him. So
I
I
didn't even
think
say anything. I didn't even, मैं तो उस वक्त उस पहुंचे पहुंचा भी नहीं कि मैं रामजी साहब के बारे में कुछ खराब बात बोलूं.
I can
But
do that.
yeah,
I can take that liberty. Yeah.
Ramdi Sahab. Okay. Anyway, Jazakallah khair for doing this. I think this is very important.
Wayakum.
This discussion is very important. So Jazakallah khair for looking into it and reminding me about it. But inshallah, until next time. Assalamu alaikum
Until
wa
next
rahmatullahi wa
time.
barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair. Okay, guys. So this was Asad Bhai. He's a lovely person, and we discussed not in length, but we discussed almost all the major problem with the Dawa sphere. That is money. I mean, if we think about it, Dawa is being Dawa needs to be done for the sake of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and for His sake only. You can't have any other purpose and make it main a central to your dawa, central to your goal, and then compete it and make a competition sort of a situation where you have to choose between dawa and the money, dawa and the ego, dawa and the person himself, or the influence. So We'll talk about these things as well, inshallah ta'ala. We'll talk about the other melodies. One of them is debate. Like, there is certain sort of debates, like you can do a debate where you know the next person is eager to learn. He has some confusions. He has some genuine questions. He's not just there to confuse you, to make you trip, to make you fall, and then take advantage of your situation. No, that is not the debate we argue for. We vote for the sort of debates where you see some sort of hair in the other person and you want to capitalize on that one. You want to make him see the light at the end of the tunnel. You want to make him you want to make him uh, start believing again, right? So those are the sort of debates I will always feel encouraged to do. But debates we see on the social media and in the speaker's corner, unfortunately, they don't represent that sort of culture, that type of meaning, that type of purpose, which is the crux and the essence of a dawa, right? We will talk in depth about those things as well. I'll try to get more guests on the show. Thank you to Asad Bhai and thank you to Zain for joining, and we can continue this series or this event of doing going live, the live streams in the future. Inshallah ta'ala. We'll see you on next Wednesday in the same hour, same minute, on the same time. Till then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.